Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving deep into the gut-brain connection.
So exciting.
Yeah, we're going to be exploring the book, The Hidden Puppet Master, How Your Gut Microbes Control Your Brain.
I've heard good things about that one.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It shows just how much power the trillions of microorganisms in our gut, our microbiome,
Oh,
have on our brain, affecting like everything, our
yeah.
mood, cravings, even overall health.
It really is amazing how much we keep learning about this,
It
right?
really is, yeah. Get ready to uncover the secrets of your, like, second brain.
So the book starts off talking about the enteric nervous system, ENS.
Okay.
What is that exactly?
So you can kind of think of it as your gut's own nervous system, right?
You
It's
can-
built into the lining of your gut.
Duh.
It's a whole network, and we're talking like 500 million neurons.
Wow.
Yeah, it's huge. More than your spinal cord even.
Wow, that's a lot of brain power down there.
Right. So this second brain is always busy controlling digestion, all on its own.
So it's independent.
But then how does it talk to the brain up here
Well, that's where the vagus nerve comes in. It's like a highway, sending signals back and forth.
between the two brains?
Exactly. But here's the crazy part.
Okay.
80% of those signals are actually starting in the gut
Hmm.
and going up to the brain.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that wild?
So it's more like our gut is the one in control.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sending all these messages makes those butterflies you get before a presentation or when you get hangry.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense now.
Exactly. It's like your gut has a direct line to your emotions.
Totally. So we have the second brain down there sending
Right.
all these messages.
Yeah.
But like who's sending them? Who are these puppet masters?
Well, it's not just one. It's a whole community of microorganisms, right, living in your gut.
oh, right.
The book breaks it down like this. 95% bacteria,
Okay.
4% viruses,
Uh-huh.
and then less than 1% are fungi and other organisms.
So even though they're a tiny amount, those fungi and other organisms, they still matter.
Absolutely. Think of it like a balance.
Okay.
Even small changes in what's in there
Yeah,
can really affect our health and how we feel.
that makes sense.
Now, about bacteria, there are some really important ones. Lactobacillus, Bifidobacterium, and Akkermansia. These are the good guys. They do so much, from our mood to our immune system.
Keeping things running smoothly.
All right. And they're not just keeping the peace.
What else are they doing?
They're like tiny little factories producing stuff our body needs.
What kind of stuff?
All sorts. Did you know 90% of our serotonin, that's the happy chemical,
Right.
is actually made in the gut?
Wait, really? I thought that was in the brain.
Nope, the gut,
Wow. A healthy gut equals a happy me.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's not just serotonin. They also make GABA.
What's that one do?
Oh, it's important for, like, calming down, less anxiety, better sleep. When the bacteria are doing well,
Yeah.
they make more of this stuff.
Okay. Starting to see how powerful these little guys are.
Right.
But how do their messages actually get to the brain?
The book talks about two main ways: chemical signaling and hormones.
Okay.
So one way they talk is through these messengers called short-chain fatty acids.
SCFAs.
Yeah, SCFAs. It's a mouthful, right?
It is. Yeah. Can you break that down for me?
Okay, so think of them as what's left over when fiber is digested.
Okay.
When we eat fiber, the bacteria break it down to make these SCFAs,
Yeah.
and then they act like messengers between the gut and brain.
Interesting.
They can affect, like, everything:
Real.
mood, appetite, even the blood-brain barrier.
Blood-brain barrier. Remind me what that is again?
It's like a shield. It protects the brain from stuff in the blood.
Oh, right.
The SCFAs can actually help make that barrier stronger.
So they're like bodyguards too.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Super important for the brain. And on top of that,
Yeah.
they also control our hormones.
Wait, I thought hormones were made by glands.
They are, but the bacteria control how much of them we have.
Oh, okay.
It's like an orchestra. The hormones are the instruments, and the bacteria are the conductors, making sure everything's in harmony.
I like that analogy.
Right.
So which hormones are they conducting?
All the important ones. Cortisol, that's your stress hormone.
Okay.
Ghrelin, that tells you when you're hungry, and leptin, that tells you you're full.
Wow. So my gut bacteria are deciding if I'm stressed, hungry, or full.
Pretty much, and it gets even crazier.
Oh.
They can also control what foods you crave. Have you ever noticed how some foods just call to you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Chocolate is my weakness.
Well, that craving might actually be coming from your gut bacteria.
Yeah.
They've evolved these clever ways to manipulate us.
To eat what they want us to.
Exactly. They can change how your taste buds work, make certain foods seem more appealing.
That's wild. It's like a conspiracy.
Kind of. But it's not all about food. The book also talks about the connection between the microbiome, and our emotions.
Okay, yeah, this is where it gets really interesting for me. Tell me about this link between gut health and things like depression and anxiety.
Okay, so research is showing that there's a strong link between what's in your gut and your mental health.
Okay.
For example, people with depression, they often have less of those good bacteria we talked about.
Like lactobacillus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So one way to maybe help with depression is to increase those good bacteria.
That makes sense.
And it's not just the chemicals they make, remember. Imbalance in the gut can also cause inflammation,
Right, right.
and that inflammation can affect the whole body, including the brain.
Oh, wow.
And inflammation is a big factor in depression and other mood disorders.
So it's like a gut problem can lead to inflammation, which then makes depression worse.
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle.
Wow. And
Yeah.
it's not just depression, right? What about anxiety?
Right, we talked about how gut bacteria make GABA, that calming chemical, remember?
Yeah.
Well, when your gut's out of balance, it can mess with GABA production.
Oh.
And that can lead to more anxiety.
Wow, these are some serious connections.
It really shows you how important those little guys in your gut are for your mental well-being.
Totally. And it doesn't stop there, does it? The source mentioned connections to things like autism and ADHD too.
That's right, they're still researching those.
Yeah.
But it does seem like the gut microbiome might play a role.
So gut health could be key for treating those conditions someday.
Maybe. It's exciting.
It is, yeah. And it's not just mental health either, right?
Wow.
What were some of the other health issues linked to gut imbalances?
Oh, a whole bunch. We talked about obesity.
Right.
People with obesity often have different bacteria in their gut compared to people who are lean.
Really? So like some bacteria are better at making us gain weight?
Kinda, yes. Some are more efficient at getting energy from food, which could contribute to weight gain.
Wow.
It's pretty cool, though, because now they're looking at ways to change the gut bacteria.
To help with weight loss?
Exactly. Things like probiotics, prebiotics,
Yeah.
and even, get this, fecal transplants.
Fecal transplants.
Yeah, it sounds weird, but could be promising.
I can imagine. So it's not just weight either. What was the connection to type 2 diabetes again?
Well, the bacteria in your gut, they actually help regulate your blood sugar.
Oh, right.
So when things are out of whack, it messes up that balance.
Leading to diabetes.
Yeah, it can cause insulin resistance, which increases the risk of type 2 diabetes.
Another domino effect.
Exactly. And then there's autoimmune conditions and inflammatory disorders. Those are linked too.
Can you explain that a bit more? Those sound pretty serious.
They are, yeah. So autoimmune conditions happen when the body starts attacking itself.
Right.
And your gut plays a big role in controlling your immune system.
Okay.
So if your gut's not balanced, it can disrupt that control. And that can increase the risk of autoimmune problems.
Wow. So the gut is like training our immune system.
You could say that. It's teaching it what's good and what's bad.
Okay.
But if the gut's messed up, it messes up the immune system too.
Gotcha. And then that can cause those inflammatory disorders too.
Exactly. So yeah, it all comes back to the gut.
This is mind-blowing. It seems like everything goes back to the gut.
It really does.
It's kind of overwhelming though, right? Where do we even begin to fix this?
It can feel that way. But the good news is we can control it. Our diet and lifestyle play a huge role.
Okay, that's good to know. So in the next part, we'll talk about what we can actually do.
Exactly. We'll dive into how to create a thriving gut city.
I like that. Can't wait. Join us next time as we continue to explore the gut-brain connection.
Welcome back to our deep dive. Last time we were talking about whether we can actually take control of our gut health.
We can. It's actually pretty amazing how much power we have.
Yeah, I'm really interested to hear more about how diet and lifestyle affect everything.
Totally. Our gut microbiome is really adaptable. You know, the things we do every day make a big difference.
So it's not just about our genes.
Not just genes, no. We can definitely shift the balance in there with our choices.
Okay, that's good to know. So we were talking about imbalances and health problems.
Right, right.
Can you remind me about the mental health stuff? Again, like the link between gut health and depression. Yeah, so we're saying that people with depression often have lower levels of those beneficial bacteria.
Like lactobacillus, right.
Yep. And those are important for making serotonin.
Which helps keep us happy.
Exactly. So maybe one way to help with depression
Yeah,
is to boost those good bacteria.
that makes sense.
And remember, it's not just about the serotonin.
Oh, right. What else was it?
The gut imbalances can also cause inflammation, and that affects the whole body.
Including the brain.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. And, chronic inflammation, that's a big contributor to depression and other mood issues.
So it's like if your gut's messed up,
Mm-hmm.
it causes inflammation, and that makes the depression worse.
Exactly, a vicious cycle.
Wow. And we talked about anxiety too, right?
We did. Remember how gut bacteria help make GABA, that calming chemical.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
If your gut is out of balance, it can mess with how much GABA you produce.
Which could lead to more anxiety.
Exactly.
It's crazy how much power those little microbes have over our mental state. And the source mentioned autism and ADHD too, right? Like there might be a connection there as well.
That's right. They're still figuring all that out.
Yeah.
But early research suggests that the gut microbiome might play a role.
Wow. So someday, maybe gut health could be part of treating those conditions too.
It's possible. It's a really exciting area of research.
It is, yeah. And it's not just mental health, right? There were a bunch of physical conditions linked to gut imbalances too.
Right. We were talking about obesity earlier.
Yeah, the different bacteria in people with obesity.
Exactly. Turns out some bacteria are just better at extracting energy from food.
So they kind of help us gain weight.
In a way, yeah. It's all about how efficiently they break down what we eat.
Okay, that makes sense. And I remember you said scientists are looking at ways to change the gut bacteria?
They are trying to find ways to help people manage their weight,
Using things like probiotics and prebiotics.
Yep. And even fecal transplants.
I still can't get over that one.
It's pretty wild, right?
Yeah. So it's not just weight either. What was the connection with type 2 diabetes again?
So the bacteria in your gut, they actually help control your blood sugar levels.
Right, right.
And if things are out of balance in there, it can mess up that whole system.
Leading to diabetes.
Exactly. It can cause something called insulin resistance.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. And that increases your risk of developing type 2 diabetes.
Another one of those domino effects.
Totally. And then you've got autoimmune conditions and inflammatory disorders.
Yeah, those are linked to gut health too.
Definitely. Autoimmune conditions are basically when your body attacks itself.
Right, I remember that.
And your gut, it plays a big part in regulating your immune system, right?
Yeah.
So if your gut's not balanced, it can throw off that whole system.
And make those autoimmune problems more likely.
Exactly. So the gut is almost like a school for your immune system.
Training it to recognize what's good and bad.
Right. But if the teacher's giving out the wrong information, things can get messed up.
So a messed up gut means a messed up immune system.
Pretty much. And that can lead to those inflammatory disorders too.
Wow, it really does all come back to the gut, doesn't it?
It really does. It's amazing. And a little scary.
Yeah, it's kind of overwhelming. Like, where do we even start to make things better?
It can feel that way, but the good news is we have so much power to change things.
Oh, good.
Our diet and lifestyle has a huge impact on our gut health.
So it's all about making the right choices.
Exactly. And it's not about huge overnight changes.
Small steps.
Yeah, gradual, sustainable shifts in your diet and lifestyle.
That makes me feel better. What are some of those small changes we can make to our diet to start supporting our gut?
Welcome back. So last time we were talking about all these small changes we can make to help our gut.
Right, putting all this knowledge into action.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where should we start?
Well, we talked a lot about fiber.
Yeah, the good bacteria love that stuff.
You do. It's like their favorite food.
So we need to make sure we're eating enough of it. Absolutely. It's one of the best things you can do for your gut.
Okay, so more fiber. What are some easy ways to get more?
Lots of fruits and vegetables.
Okay, I can do that.
Whole grains, too. Things like brown rice,
Quinoa, right.
legumes, all kinds of beans and lentils.
Got it. So load up on the good stuff.
Yeah, I think colorful salads, hearty soups,
Yeah. And what about those fermented foods we talked about?
Oh, those are great. Yogurt, sauerkraut, kimchi.
Right. They're full of probiotics.
Exactly. It's like giving your gut a direct dose of good bacteria.
So it's better to get probiotics from food.
It can be, yeah. It's a natural way to do it.
Okay, makes sense. And then there were prebiotics, right? The stuff that feeds the good bacteria.
You got it. Prebiotics are like fertilizer for your gut garden.
Okay, I can picture that. What are some foods with prebiotics?
Oh, lots of them. Onions, garlic, bananas, asparagus, leeks, oats.
So many good things.
Right. And don't forget about stress and sleep.
Oh, yeah, those are important too.
Huge. Chronic stress, it's like a gut killer.
Really? That bad?
Yeah, it messes up the balance in there. So find ways to relax.
Easier said than done sometimes.
I know, right? But even small things help, like taking a walk, listening to music.
Yeah, taking some time for myself.
Exactly. And sleep. Don't underestimate sleep.
Sleep is the best.
It is. When you sleep, your gut gets to repair and rebuild.
So I'm giving my gut city a break.
Exactly. And it's not just about how much you sleep, but the quality of your sleep, too.
Oh, right. Like deep sleep.
Exactly. Make sure you're getting good, restful sleep.
So creating a good bedtime routine can help.
Definitely. Dim the lights, put away your phone, relax.
Got it. This has been so fascinating. We've learned so much about the gut-brain connection.
It's pretty amazing, right?
It is. And all the things we can do to improve our gut health.
And by doing that, we're improving our overall well-being, too.
It's all connected.
It really is. And the more we learn about it, the more possibilities open up for new treatments.
Like those personalized probiotics you were talking about.
Exactly. And maybe even preventing diseases before they start.
That would be incredible. It's so empowering to know that we have this much control over our health.
It really is.
Yeah.
By taking care of our gut, we're taking care of ourselves.
I love that. Well, this has been an amazing deep dive. Thank you so much for sharing all this knowledge with us.
My pleasure. It's such an exciting field.
It is. And thank you to our listeners for joining us on this journey into the world of the gut-brain connection. Be sure to check out the show notes for more information and resources. And until next time, keep exploring.